I'm Bonita du Plessis and I'm one of the foot in the door contestants for JacarandaFM. Yes, very excited, very excited. Hykie Berg has been very nice to meet with me on very short notice this morning. Hykie Berg, thank you for meeting with me. I know it's very short notice, so much appreciated.
No problem.
What are you up to right now? Everyone knows you as actor Hykie Berg, that's most known. What are you actually busy with day to day?
I'm still performing and we're still pitching programs for Cape or various stations. In September a program will be launched on Cape called Hykie Berg, which I present. It's a program where we go to various different graves of legends in South Africa that has passed away. Okay, so we do that and we speak about the legends and why they're buried there and all of that stuff. It's the second program. And then there's another film coming up in October, and then one in February, so which is lovely. But apart from that, it's a couple of years ago I just started getting into the corporate world as well, just to get that base because I'm married now and I've got a wifey.
I was going to ask you about that. Jump that on your audience. They said no, come over for the engagement party. For the engagement party, and then decide, oh no, let's just make it a wedding.
Absolutely. We invited 248 people to the engagement party, and obviously it wasn't a full wedding, so what we did was we had canapé lunches and everything in a farm setup, so everybody was sitting on this couch in the farm, and we had a big tent, and our wedding cake was different cheeses that they cut through and stuff, and we made it relatively cheap because we wanted everybody to come. It was the engagement party. The only thing is we didn't get presents. We didn't get so many presents because everybody.
Surely you get presents at an engagement party?
Yeah, we got presents, but I mean we're not wedding gifts.
Not big ones. Not big ones.
So and they arrived there, and at about 11 o'clock she came out in her wedding dress, and we got married.
So you planned that full on before?
We planned it, and about 20 people knew about it, like our parents and stuff.
Best man, maid of honor,
and stuff.
Minister, obviously.
Yeah, but the rest of the guys didn't do it. So,
okay.
And I'm working at a company called A2. I've got a couple of, I've platform, the smart term is I'm a platform partner of the CEO and his companies, and I've got 3 that are run under the A2 brand. I've got a A2 True Wealth Academy, which is a ministry, and we go in all the work that I do in churches and schools and stuff, where I do a bit of motivational talks and all mostly faith-based stuff. I do under the True Wealth Academy, and then we've got a company called A2 Gambit, which provides shortcodes and fax to mail services and business solutions for companies. And
which would be that SMS-ing.
It would be the
SMS number 2.
SMS scheme to 35050 or whatever.
Okay.
Years ago, the 35050 number used to be synonymous with those dodgy pictures that would come to your phone.
But you have nothing to do with that.
No. Those guys made a killing of it. But the technology and the software has developed so cool. We are. I'm a subsidiary here with A2, and we platform partners with a company called NGN, and they're the biggest privately owned telecommunication company in the Southern Hemisphere. They made their money on fax to mail, the biggest fax to mail provider in South Africa, but they've also spent a lot of money on software for shortcodes. So our systems are brilliant. You buy shortcodes for $3,300, get as many shortcodes you want, as many keywords, you've got all the software, and then you go and this is your tool, and you capture the people at the. There's so many mobile marketing has just taken over completely, and that fascinates me. And it's wonderful because it brings in a certain amount of money which I don't get from the acting, because I don't want to be on the soap every single night. I've been through most of the Afrikaans soaps.
Yes, Sevenland, Bitterlander, Chigoli. You've been through them all.
So I stay there. I'll stay there for at least maximum 2 years, 2.5 years, and then I go. Okay, Sevenland I was fired. Well, not fired. They let me go. Because I was
asked you to leave.
No, yeah.
Where you didn't want to.
Well, I had a original. What happens is that they'll always get a person in for 3 months, and then if you form and you shape well and stuff, they give you 6 months and then a year and something. I just went backwards because I was glad nie by nie.
Nie wil stop wedding.
Nee, my kop no, te veel crack and te veel no. My days of not being with it. I completely fell off the track, and I just said, I keep on by, But thank the Lord, I got out of that one. Nice ek weer hierso en ek is reg en sap. So it's still a learning process, and there's still so much more that, you want to achieve more and greater things every day and go bigger and better. After Survivor, which was 2011, by grace that I won that, and that was more. The money was obviously brilliant because it was $1 million that I just stopped.
Yeah, that you can definitely grow from.
After tax, and I didn't even have to pay tax on it, but. Apart from the money, and that was just a metaphor for my life where God came and He stood up for me. And I mean, if I could win that, I still can't believe that I won.
How was your experience on Survivor though? Did you have good connections with people on the show, or were you just there to, you were there to do you, was that your strategy? Or?
No. Matthew 10 verse 16, that was my strategy.
Was that your strategy?
Matthew 10 verse 16, whoever's watching this, go read Matthew 10 verse 16 tonight. Okay. It says, be as wise as a serpent, as innocent and righteous as a dove. And the whole Matthew 10 is about how Jesus says he's sending out his people into a world of wolves, the sheep into a world of wolves. So you've got to be, the Afrikaans term is uitgeslapen. No, okay, but you can't lie and you can't be untruthful, and you've got to, so I mean, I went in there, and that's why I said it was grace. I wasn't supposed to win, Letsego was supposed to win.
Maar jy?
Ek het. Ja, maar Letsego moes gewen.
Hoekom?
As sy die regte ding gedoen het. Sy's 'n verskriklike mooi kind van die Here. She's a wonderful woman. All she had to do was take up her best friend to the top 2 and not leave her there. Take her up because she would have won. Ons weet dit vandag. Almal sê vir Letsego gestem. Hulle sê nie vir Bonnie gestem nie. Toe vat sy my. Toe haar kameras kat sê hoekom want ek het dit op gespreek.
Wat sê sy?
Sy sê hoekom het jy my opvat? Sy sê purely strategy. So my take up Bonnie, I wouldn't win. Toe had ons agter die geld aan. And not the right thing. Wow. So if she practiced Matthew 6, search my heart and my righteousness, and all else would be added to you, she would have won. Sy moes net haar buddy gevat en gesê, come on. Ons het saam met die journey geloop, come on, I'll take you to the top 2. That's the right thing to do. She would have won. God would have blessed her. That money would have been added to her. En hier flippe wen ek. Toe kry ek, ek dink 9 uit die 11 uitsit of sweets.
Wel genoeg vir om Survivor.
Maldives. Nee, that was amazing, and they're doing another Survivor now, and I wish I could have been part of it. I mean, I've even phoned.
So jy het gegaan het?
Ja, natuurlijk. Ag nee, jessie, in 'n instant.
Ek wil net met my een ding, want ek weet almal wil dit weet, en dis 'n bietjie meer van 'n behind the scenes vraag. Kan jy enigiets saamvat as jy op Survivor gaan?
Hulle sê vir jou, bring 2 of 3 van jou personal items, maar bring net 3 kortbroeke, 2 hemde en dis byvoorbeeld. Iets so klein saakie wat jy saam. The personal items is also that if you win a challenge, there is somewhere along the line there's a challenge that you can win that you'll get your personal items. You don't know when it happens. Okay. So you also don't know which challenge it is. So if you lose, and that's what happened with us, we lost that challenge. And the other team got all their personal items. And that could be anything. So people bring their letters from home and whatever. I took a small little Bible with and a small little rock there, faith on a friend of mine that gave that to me. And I didn't get it. That's it. And zero. Die borstel vir 30 dae neerdag. En dit is genuine, mense vra dit elke dag my, okay, where there's a camera, there's a KFC, okay, DHI, you obviously sleep in hotels and stuff, it's not like that. I mean, if people just go and sit down for a moment and think, the production company, Castaway, the franchise has been running for 20 years. If it was a fluke, people would have stopped watching it years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago, it's not, you get nothing. The only thing that came out they gave us was a vitamin B injection at one stage because people were freaking out. And yeah, I charred rat. Me and Jacques de Blanche, we caught rat. We charred eel. We tried to find anything. We couldn't catch fish because the hooks were too big for the fishes. So, and that's what they give you.
Moving on to something a little bit more serious then. Survivor was in 2011, is that right? In that same year, you also made a testimony in church about a drug addiction of yours.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us about what made you decide to come forward with that?
Well, what happened was I was for 2 years of my life, from the age of 19 till 21, I was a hectic jump.
You were quoted as calling yourself quite a dodgy guy.
No, I was a dodgy guy. No, there's no getting around it. Yeah, I was a dodgy guy, and I was literally living on the streets of Hilbrand, shooting heroin up my. So I was even before I got into the industry. So I was a complete just lost case, and there were obviously many reasons why that happens. There was just one reason or this or that. But at the end of the day, it was I did it. I take all the responsibility.
Yeah.
So, and then I went to rehab center when I was completely rock bottom at 21, and a brilliant center. I got involved in the 12-step program. And well, that was a treatment center, and then I went for another 6 months to another treatment center. So I had long-term treatment. And then I came out, and then that next year I went and studied drama at Stellenbosch. So I was trying to study a BCom. That's got nothing going on with me. That was net a disaster.
Yeah.
No.
Nie my nommer skien nie. Geef my woorde. Ek het die woorde my.
No, but even with I mean, I just failed everything because I was so not into it. Okay. And and then I got clean and I studied, and those 3 years in Stellenbosch was quite challenging because I couldn't drink and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that environment can't be very boosting to the change that you're trying to make. I mean, that's when most people start out and
also your first year students, they're all a bunch of weird, strange people smoking dope.
Yes, jy wil mal gaan die bos gaan.
Yeah, so that was challenging. I knew I had to stay clean because I mean 1 beer, 2, 3, 4, 10, blah, 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 and I'm back for so, and then I stayed clean for 8 years. And nobody knew of it was my thing, it was personal, and I kept it to myself and to the people that knew. But
that's great that you were able to do that, especially in the industry.
Yeah, so nobody knew. And in that time I did many series and soaps, and I won a couple of awards and films and everything. And then what happened was I relapsed 10 days before my 8-year birthday. I relapsed after shooting a program. And the reason I relapsed was I stopped prior to the relapse. People think the relapse is the day that you use your drugs. It's not. The relapse actually started 6 months or a year before that. That was the end of the relapse. Once you pick up, that's the end of the relapse and the start of active addiction again. Because I stopped doing the basic things. I lost a certain amount of humility. I didn't check my resentments. The basic things that was required of me just wasn't there. And then I relapsed and I thought I could control it again. It was quite bad, and that year I went back to treatment. I don't even know. It was I think 5 treatment centres and a couple of halfway houses, and until I lost everything. I had a wonderful laugh there at Auckland Park, the Empire. I had a wonderful laugh there, and I lost the loft, lost my car, lost my fiancée. I lost everything.
Not the one that you married?
No. That one I asked on drugs, and we left one another on drugs. So it was never based really on anything. With a little bit of money that I had, I went to Botswana, stayed there for a year, and just came back with tremendous amount of debt. And I literally came back with nothing. And I moved in with my mom in a little room, and I had nothing. I had the clothes on my back and I had a little tea bag. I'll never forget. I had this little tea bag, and I stood there and started crying. Oh, I'm so grateful for this little tea bag. Because it's so wonderful when you never realize how much you need God when God is all that you've got.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I started waitering here at Tony's on Linwood Road. Tony was very good to me. And it was very embarrassing, very humiliating, at the same time the best thing I could have ever done. Because
so that's after people actually know you.
They come to me and ask me, "Hey, is this your restaurant? Is this your place?" Yeah, ek waait met die gemeente. So dis depressie tyd te kom met werk.
Sure.
So it was hard for me, and because most people in Pretoria would know, because most of my work has been in Afrikaans circles, so that's my market. Mense check in.
Ja, mense ken jou. I mean, al die sepies wat ek doen, dis mense
af. Ja, en as ek weer 'n waiter. So hier binnekant was dit verskriklik erg geweest. So ek sal nooit vergeet die dag toe die Starks my gebel het nie. Susanna Rousseau en Elsa het gehoor ek is terug by hulle back in South Africa. They want me to come play for binneland, and they said, but we'll give you a job, but you'll start on a very little salary, because we knew your kop was nie lekker nie. So ons gaan jou nou jy moet inkom vir dit.
Okay.
So I sat in front of the whole staff family and almal wat nou eers gekyk het of ek nou eers weer sharp is.
Is jy eintlik nou
sharp? Ja, hoeveel pille drink ek, is ek alright, wat se goed gaan aan met my. And then they realized, okay, I'm okay, and they're going to employ me, and I just kept on staying sober and had faith and try to obey God as much as I can, and just try and do the next right thing. Just try and do the next right thing, and slowly but surely. And then my car was taken away from me because of the kids. I didn't have a car. My karretjies gevat. I dropped it off at my wiele. It's gevat. En toen moest I had to get to studio in Joburg, central Joburg, because we were still shooting there at Fox. I had to get there every single day without a car. Yes, see. And I was nie een dag laat, not one day. Got there, and slowly but surely they raised my salary, and I started producing something again, and started getting involved with Rotary from a 2, because I've got some business background. My father's an advocate, and I've had previous other businesses as well, during the 8 years of sobriety. And they invited me for Survivor, and I won Survivor, and I could get rid of all my debt. So God was just amazing.
And so your story comes full circle. I mean, when we started chatting today, you started off by saying this is what you're doing, and it's just really great to hear how you actually got here. You look like you absolutely jumping up and beaming and interested in a really good
Absolutely. Place. But it's not as if I have arrived. You never arrive, and don't ever think you've arrived. En as jy dink jy's 'n groot meneer, you are never a groot meneer. Ever.
That's my favorite part.
You are just a celebrity. Not a celebrity, a celebrity. Everybody are just celebrities. We are glorified janitors to do the work for the kingdom. That's it. The rest, all of this can actually... I can lose everything again because I've lost it so many times. Yeah. I've been in vest copies for months. I've been in jail. I've been everywhere. I mean, like many other people also. Everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody has had a lot of hurt and a lot of stuff that they've gone through. But at the end of the day, it's not about us. Yeah. It's not about us. It's not about this. It's not about TV or all of that stuff. It's waiting for him to come and reconcile his children. That's what I've learned out of Survivor.
And that's how you survive.
Absolutely.
That's how you survive.
Absolutely.
This has been Hykie Berg with me, Bonita du Plessis, your foot in the door contestant.
Ek is Hykie Berg en jy luister na Jacaranda 94.3.